people. You know what I mean? We all been through these struggles that we've been through. And a lot of times, like for me over in Beaumont, see me, I walked my whole walk dolo. I didn't carry shanks because I live by the same mentality as how I live out here. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. You see what I'm saying? And my whole thing was I didn't need to carry a shank because I'm not disrespecting nobody or putting myself in no position to where I'm gonna need a shank. You see what I'm saying? I'm not in no gang, and I didn't go to prison to join no gang because I wasn't gang banging on the street. So that was my mentality going in. You see what I'm saying?
So when you went to Beaumont Medium?
So I ended up out in Beaumont Medium, which was ran by the ABTs, which are Aryan Brotherhood of Texas. Right? So you get on a compound now. So this is my first time getting on a compound that is ran by gangs. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, it's been independence or whatnot. But now this is a gang-ran compound, which means that gangs, for the white people, have the decision as to what goes on that compound. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, true enough, I'm an independent, but now I'm subservient to the gangs now. Now I got to do what the gangs say. I got to sit where the gangs say. And see, that's where my rub started to come in because I'm from Florida. And you hear how I talk. And you see how I act. You see what I'm saying? So that's where my rub started coming in with them. And the only problem that I've ever had in federal prison was with white people, my own people. Them trying to tell me where to sit, who to hang out with, who not to cook with.
That's fun.
And see, and I'm the type of cat, again, I took the federal government to trial. And see, I keep saying that because like you say, people really don't understand what that means. They have no idea. There's a reason why 97% of the people that catch a federal charge plea out. That's 97% of people across America that the federal government has ever indicted have pled out. Only 3% have went to trial. You got 2 people that took the federal government to trial sitting right in this room. That's an anomaly. You don't see that often. And there's a purpose behind that.
They like, it was like, take 30. And I'm like, shit, take 30. Like, I don't know how to take 30. How the fuck
Take
you take 30?
Take 30 and give up your rights to a kid.
Give up my right to a field. Nah, you got to give me that shit, player.
Hey, listen, man, when they sentenced me to 200. They don't say years when you get sentenced in the federal system. They sentence you in months. They gave me 262 months. Then they gave me the 60 months running wild, so that was close to 300 months. So when they sentenced me to that, quite naturally, I wasn't shocked and then I'm like, okay, when I was walking back to that cell and I went to calculating 300 months, I said, shit, man, this is almost 30 years, man.
Yeah.
This is almost 30 years.
That's why when she was saying the 30, I'm like, shit, 27, 30, I'm like, shit, bitch, why I'm gonna take that? Like, bitch, y'all got to give me that. Y'all got to give me that, man.
Correct.
Hey, look, but back to like people, how like dealing with people, right? They don't understand to the working out. You look, now I'm gonna give you 2 incidents. Working out, you out there working out, and all of a sudden somebody just start getting crushed by you. You can't act like you got to act like you still work. You got to still work out. A bitch getting brutal to stab right here beside you, right here, beat under the bleacher. You got to keep working out because you can't be the one to draw attention to this shit.
That's right.
Motherfucker came back with 6 months on a violation. They kick him to death.
You talking about a dude that they beat out there on the red.
Right.
They knocked his
Guess
eyes
what?
in.
You got to step over this man like he a cigarette butt.
Right.
They left him out there for some hours too, man.
People losing their life like this right here. I done seen a motherfucker get beat so bad and took to the police. And the police kicked both of them back out of the office.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine that. Imagine sitting
running to
in the
get
chair.
this shit.
You sitting there watching TV because nighttime, evening comes, right? You got your headphones on, right? And one of the main things that you learn, right, is to keep one earbud out. So you'll see people walking around with earbuds because inside, right, you got to put on your headphones to watch the TV. So you'll keep one ear always open so you can hear what's going on around you, because there's no way you're going to keep both because you can't hear. So you always keep one out. So imagine now, just what this gentleman just said. You sit in this chair, you watching TV, and next thing you know, the dude sitting right next to you gets stabbed in his neck, right? Just out of the blue. You, knowing in the situation instantly where you're at, you can't respond. You can't just, oh my God, and jump up and panic and all this stuff. You got to know that you're getting ready to get locked down. So you get up, you grab your chair, you go get your ice, you go get some shit paper, you go to the store, man, go get you some weed, whatever it is, because you're going to be locked down for a bit. But yet this man just got gutted next to you. You may even have his blood on you.
Correct.
And you can't even react to that because of the label you might get coming off that. You can't just sit here and scream and yell.
Hold on. I done seen a motherfucker get hit with a lock so hard that he didn't know he was hit with that bitch till he got hit the second time with that motherfucker on the top of his shit.
You remember when we was in the unit and dude was beating the dude with the lock and it was just blood was spurting out his head, bro?
Hold on. I got another one, Dirty Red. I done seen a motherfucker. We on lockdown. You remember this, right? I just got there. All this shit happened when I got caught with that motherfucker with that blick. You kill my nephew on the street.
Mm-hmm.
They send you to the Fed. They put you in the cell with another homie, and dude who you killed on the street, his uncle is up on top tier up here, in the room up here. And we on lockdown. So you ain't get to see nobody. When they come out the room, they stabbing you and they beating you with a lock. You don't know nobody in this motherfucker.
I remember that.
You running around until so. I'm in the cell with a nigga from Alabama at this time. You running towards us, so everybody ain't nobody moving. Like when shit go on, nobody ain't moving. They ain't involved, so ain't nobody move. I guess you think we with them. You jump off the top tier of that motherfucker, head first, to get away from these niggas.
Get away from the fire.
And run and jump in the police on and put your leg around it like a baby.
Listen, man.
Knock your eye, whole eye and shit, and the whole eyeball out of shit.
So a dude come in the unit. He done killed somebody on the street.
Right. And they put you in there.
He come in the unit when it's locked down.
Right.
So they just throw him in the cell.
Throw him in that mother.
So he don't know nobody.
He's supposed to stay.
But it's selling.
He knew he was there because you came in there asking for him. You knew his uncle was there. So what you supposed to did was kept your ass in the hole. You ain't supposed to came on the yard, especially under them circumstances right there. You ain't never supposed to came in there. You was a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna even get deeper than that, right? In 2018, they shipped me to Big Sandy. And it was, if people don't know what Big Sandy is, that's probably one of the most violent penitentiaries in the United States of America. It's in Inez, Kentucky. It like sits on top of a mountain. It takes 2 hours to get on top of the mountain. That's how far it is. It's almost like they blew a piece of land out and just put a prison on top of it up there. But anyway,
so it's a 2-hour drive to go up to the prison?
Yes.
From the bottom of the mountain?
Yes.
Just
I
to
got
get
to
the
Big
top of the
Sandy.
mountain.
They kicked me out of Coleman. And what I mean kicked me out of Coleman is I didn't get any kind of disciplinary report or anything like that. They was just hearing stuff about I was involved and things, this and that. And then when you be at one spot for too long, they'll just get rid of you.
Flipping the yard.
So they took me away from my family from Florida, you know what I'm saying, and shipped me down there to Kentucky. But I said that to say, when I got there, they was on lockdown. They was on lockdown because a black dude killed a black hand. And in a black hand is like the head of the Mexican, thing. You see the little tattoos on their neck. You see like a black hand on their neck, but he killed him. At 4 o'clock, maybe a month later, and all the penitentiaries, bro, the Mexicans attacked the blacks. They didn't even see it coming, bro. Like you in Lee County, you in Beaumont, you in Big Sandy, you might be in Coleman. I don't think it went down to Coleman.
Right.
But it went to, I think, the Hazeltons. It went to all the ones up there in the mountains.
What year
and
was
at
that?
4 o'clock, it was in 2006. It was in 2016. And at 4 o'clock, you liable was on the phone.
That
You
shit-
liable was on the rec field. Nobody don't know what's
that
going
shit
on
happened
but
at
the
Coleman.
Mexicans.
That shit happened at Coleman.
So it starts spreading to different
Happened at
prisons. But
Beaumont,
I'm
too.
just saying that to say is that that's the danger that you in. Imagine you have no idea. The blacks don't
Right.
know that it's a hit out on us.
Right.
Because once it's a group now, it ain't you from Florida, you from Georgia. It's like we all black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same with white. That's just what it is.
Right.
It's like the federal system bleeds racism.
Right.
So
You know, they the one who creates a lot of it. And what I mean by that is, like, they ain't gonna never put a black and a white in the cell together.
so
But
in an instance,
it ain't you. I mean, and you already know it ain't gonna happen like that because you can only control. You probably can control these few people out this same group right here. The other ones probably ain't trying to hear what you talking about. So guess what? To get to them, I'm gonna use you.
Yeah.
So you already know how that goes. They,
I
just
said
like you
all
know
that
how
to
they used to
say
come and
is
get
just-
us. You know how
it's
they used to
just-
come and get us.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's
It's
going
just
on?
living in the
You know what I'm
places,
saying?
yeah.
Hey man,
No, but
Just
that's
living in them
crucial.
places,
This is
you know what I'm
crucial,
saying,
crucial
to where your
information.
life could be that much in danger to where dudes walking around in these prisons, bro, and they had no idea that this hit had probably been put on them maybe a month
nah,
before.
you know already know.
And
Now
they
see-
say at 4 o'clock,
Everywhere.
everywhere,
It's on.
and the whole pens are just erupt like that. So you could be walking, going to the church, and you could be going to the commissary, and then dude might just run up to you and just stab you in
and
the
just
back
start
because
hitting
you
you,
black.
and just start hitting you.
And
Now,
that's
see-
everyday life, bro.
Now see, from the white dudes,
Google Big Sandy, man. Google it right now, man.
from the white dude's perspective, how that occurs, right? Because again, 2010, Beaumont, I was there for that riot,
Right.
and it was the same thing where the Mexicans jumped on the blacks during football,
Yeah.
right? So what it was this was a Sunday afternoon. Now, from a white dude's perspective, we know because again, the Mexicans interact with the white dudes in that aspect. So
Right.
we all know that if anything was to ever pop off with the blacks, because there's so many blacks on the compound,
Yeah.
that the Mexicans are gonna ride with the whites.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we heard that this was going on, we were just told, listen, stay off the yard. You know what I mean? Don't go out in the yard at this time. Just stay out of the way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then we watched it. And just like how the man said, on a move, you got black dudes just walking along, and then the Mexicans just out of nowhere. But see, you know it. Like the man says, you don't know tension until you know tension.
Without nothing going on, you can smell that
You
shit.
smell it. It's
Be real
thick.
quiet.
Yeah,
It be
it's
real
quiet
quiet.
as a
People
motherfucker.
serious.
Yes.
You sit down, you crack a joke. People, it's just
You see him
serious.
suited and booted out on the rec
And
yard,
that's
you
when
know
you
what
start
time.
noticing, right? You'll come out with your coffee, you'll sit down, you may tell your homeboy something, he may just look at you and kind of, but you know, you just know and sense.
Yeah.
All your alarms are going off. Then you start looking around, you start seeing that dudes have got their jackets on. You know what I mean? And here it is, summertime inside. Dudes got their jackets on, they got their boots on. So now you're like, well, damn, homie, what's going on?
That's why the shot call is important.
That's why the
Explain
shot
that.
caller.
That's why the shot call
is
is
important.
important. You always got to have somebody who can think.
Correct.
You got to always remember you babysitting grown men. Period. You're gonna have to pay bills for motherfuckers. You're gonna have to tell them. You're gonna have to tell a motherfucker. Don't give him. I don't give a fuck how what he say going on. Don't give him a motherfucking thing. If he asks you for anything, you come tell me.
That's right.
Or you come tell bro.
You got the politic.
Don't do none of that.
You're a politician.
So whenever something going on, if the people they gonna call you up there, they gonna ask you about it. You gonna give them a yeah or no. If it's something you can't give them no answer to, we gonna sit our ass in this motherfucker.
You know how many times black done came to me and say, man, we got to go on the rec field, man. I say, for what, man? A meeting, man, a Florida meeting. And you got to be there.
Yeah.
But it used to get so exhausting because on every compound, it's always going to be idiot
gooks.
homeboys
Bunch of
that you
gooks.
got to hold their hand. It's going to always be that, man.
Right.
You're going to have to pay their debts. You know, some of them, if they get too bad, we'll just get rid of them and they can try it somewhere
Right.
else.
You got
know what I'm
home
saying?
debts, commissary, booty. Niggas want to crash out by booty. Homeboys want to crash out by booty.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to get on from around here.
That's right.
Yeah, we ain't gonna leave that shit out.
You know who I'm talking about,
Yeah,
too.
nigga.
And see, but the thing of it is, again, dealing with this car stuff. See,
And stop right here. Let me just stop right here. start right here. I don't even mean to cut you off, but I got to say something about that, what you just said. Is we almost got in a race riot because we had a homeboy from Tampa.
Right.
I should say his name, but I'm not.
Bitch ass nigga.
We had a homeboy from Tampa that was fucking a white boy. The white boys come to us and say, hey man, holler at your homeboy and tell us to just leave our kind alone. We step to the homie, hey man, look man, we know you on ass, man. You know what I'm saying? We know you fuck around, bro. Stay away from the white boy. He go back in there again and pull the same thing. Yeah, the white boy is gay probably, but in prison sometime, their own race is the one that be wanting to be with him. So really you violating because you is black and the dudes is telling you to leave the dude alone. Right. So anyway, to make a long story short, me and Black catch him. And when we catch him, just to avoid a whole race ride in this whole prison,
you got to set an example.
we had to get rid of him, man.
Y'all y'all closing.
We didn't get rid of him.
Y'all closing. Y'all closing. The CO know all. They already know what's going on. All that shit. They gonna let me out. Let us out the door.
Get him off the
Let me out the door.
They gotta run him up top.
And we gonna do it like this.
He
Going on.
He hit a sucker move and got up there in front of all the police and went to selling out.
Right. Now, so same instance.
He went to selling me out. He went to selling me death. He got way up there and sold me death, man.
So let me put all this into
He
perspective.
said he was gonna kill me 5 times.
Let me put all this into perspective now.
He finna wreck the whole car.
Yeah.
Right. So let me
That's
put
a
all
good
this
one,
into
man.
perspective. So now I'm at a Beaumont. And see now how the feds work is when you leave Florida, your car gets smaller. You see what I'm saying? So now me being over in Florida, I'm part of the Florida car because I'm not gang associated. So I'm an independent. So I'm Florida car. Now how they do it is you got 2 Florida cars. You got the black Florida car and then you got the white Florida car. Right? Because a lot of black dudes that were coming out of Miami and whatnot were on that homosexual time. Right? So we, as the white dudes, the ABTs, didn't play that whatsoever. So they formed, okay, they got the white car. And Thomas, you're speaker of the Florida, the white car, because like you say, you got to have somebody with brains to run this because this is the rules of this compound and we don't want no white dudes getting involved in no homosexuality, no thievery, nothing like that. So it's, okay, that's where it's at.
Hey, not to cut y'all off. One thing, one white boy too is that you would know if white boy get on the yard and he walking around in bobos, that first move he ain't put no tennis shoes. They ain't gave him no tennis shoes yet.
Right.
He finna get crushed, man.
Right. That's rule
Fact.
number 1.
Yeah.
Rule
Fact.
number 1. You got to be suited and booted at all times.
Right.
So going to the cars, right? So now there was a dude, because again, I'm in Beaumont and I'm not subsiding to where these people are telling me to sit at and who to hang with, who to cook with. But what they did ask me is that I kept it in the unit and not out on the yard.
Right.
So I agreed to that. You know what I mean? I'll hang with whoever. So there was a dude that came out of West Palm Beach, right? And we were cooking. We were doing all this stuff. We were hanging out. Black dude, long locks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cool dude. Never gave the impression that he was on this stuff. And then it came to find out. I come back to the unit. And now I got these ABTs pulling me up. I got these ABTs now pulling me up. Like, listen, man, your homeboy just raped a white dude here in the unit, right? Were you posting guard? Did you know that he was going to do that? I'm being questioned now because why? I associate with him.
Yeah, but that's I'm gonna feel disrespect.
Well, but this is the thing, because these dudes were already trying to run me off the yard and get me out of the unit to begin with.
Man,
so it's just knowing that while you're in the system,
disputes.
you got to be careful who you associate with. You got to be careful who you associate with. You got to know this dude's thought process.
This is a fact, right?